Arbor Woods versus Brittany Woods.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Rachel Dornbush, Palace Law, on behalf of the plaintiff.
And I should say Brittany Woods and Ron Hall. Hello, what's your names?
Brittany Woods.
Donovan Hall.
Okay. And this is your motion. Go ahead. The default judgment was entered back on
January 5th, Judge.
January 5th. Go ahead. What's your motion?
Filed the motion for escrow, pay 1 month's rent.
Into escrow.
And
Okay.
also just yesterday, I paid another month's rent
Paid another month's rent.
to Arbor Woods. And I have the copy of that.
Well, is it you, Miss Dornbush, you have that payment to your client or no?
Your Honor, I am looking at the ledger and no, I don't see that, but this ledger was printed on the 6th, so the day before yesterday. It's possible something was dropped off. I'm happy to check with my client. Although, as I'm sure Your Honor can imagine, I have some opinions regarding the motion before the court. So
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm just trying to figure out how much do you have owing?
$4,981.79 plus a $55 late fee. So it's over 5,000. If you give me a moment, I'll get the exact figure.
Yeah. Well, even if I operate,
It's $5,036.79.
all right. So first thing, let me just tell you folks, your motion is not timely. That's going to be the first thing. And you're looking to stay the writ, but you know, you're not even, you don't have the full amount that's due.
So when they filed, I guess, the motion for us missing the court date in January, we paid whatever was due before the court date and was told that we didn't have to show up. So we knew none of this was even going on until we got the notice on our door in February saying that we were getting evicted.
Your Honor,
What do
I
you mean?
see. So I think the issue is on January 5th, they paid $822, which I believe covered the demand amount, but that didn't
Got it.
include the January rent. Because even after that payment, there was a balance due of $1,588.29.
1,588 was due at that.
Yes, 1588.29. And I think that payment came in simultaneous with the court date because we were here on the 5th. So the judgment was for the balance without that payment being taken into account.
Got it. Okay, folks.
And Your Honor, my client did confirm receiving $1,600 yesterday.
So they got 1,600 yesterday. And then was it 16 even or 1610? Do you know?
16 even.
16 even. Okay. All right, real good. So you just ask this of you because this is really what the issue is that you're going to be about 1,800 short.
And that's with the 1 month from the escrow.
Right. You owe 5,000, I think $5,036.79. So $540, $5,040, let's say. And you thus far paid 16 to the landlord. You got 1610 in escrow. It's going to be about 3,200. Roughly speaking, you're about 18 then short.
We could pay, so that's for March, right?
Well, look at it this way. It doesn't matter what that's for. There's a writ outstanding. You filed a motion and you owe this money.
So my question is, when we paid what was remaining January 5th, we are understanding that January was late. But at that point, it was 800 something due, and we were told we didn't have to show up to court. How come it wasn't another date filed for late rent? It just went from that January motion to a notice of eviction.
Okay, because I can understand the confusion that occurs, okay? Because what you paid was the demand amount,
Mhm.
which only went through December. It didn't include your January rent.
Okay.
So when somebody tells you, if you say, I paid everything, do I have to show up? I don't know what the conversation was. If you paid everything, you wouldn't have to show up. But everything wasn't paid. If
Okay.
you
So I guess my
follow
confusion
me.
is because technically late is not rent. Rent is not late until 11:59. So yeah, we didn't pay it, but we really had the whole day to pay it.
The
So
whole day of what?
of January the 5th.
Well, it's not late January 5th. The
Right.
rent's due on the 1st.
Exactly. I understand that. But what I'm saying is we have up until the 5th before it's late, correct?
No, it's late on the second. It's not, there's no late fee until, I think your rent is due on the first. It's considered late on the second. You get a grace period before a late fee is charged.
As far as the remaining balance, we can pay that this month. Have a little more time.
Well, okay, because there's a writ that's out there right now. It got stayed temporarily because this amount's it. And what I'm saying is, you guys need to tell me exactly, and plaintiff may object to this, but I'd like to see you try to maintain your housing. But I gotta have a way that you're gonna get this 18 in. And the only reason I'm talking to you about it is because you guys have paid about $3,210. Well, exactly 3,210 of that 5.
And Your Honor, if they can give a date on when they think they can pay it, I'm happy to talk to my client and see if they're willing to
That-
work with them. I don't have any authority without checking with them.
Right, right. So that's what I'm trying to work out. I understand, ma'am. It's not that I'm not hearing what you're telling me, okay? And we could sit up there and have the fight about that, but then once we're done with that fight, I still got $1,800 I gotta find, okay? All right, so I just didn't want you to think I was disrespecting what you were saying to
That's
me.
okay.
I got. So how do you guys see getting the 18 in?
And what's today's date?
Today is the 8th.
Um,
What was he looking down at?
I'm looking-
You had to tell him where the calendar was. He wasn't, you don't know, right? Okay, never mind. I'm not, how you make it from day to day without her? Go ahead, what?
I believe that we can get that paid before the 22nd.
You think you can get the 22nd? You think you can get it paid? All right, folks?
Before the 22nd, so I would say like around.
Just say the
I'll
22nd.
say the 22nd, just to have a solid date.
Well,
Your Honor, if we
okay.
could pass on the matter, I'm happy to check with my client, see if they're willing to give them till that date to come up with the remaining balance.
Yeah, and my position on it would be, so that your client knows, they have paid so much, they've gotten a good majority of this in. And they really would be looking for an adjournment to the 22nd, just to get that last payment in.
Right.
Understood, Judge. Yep, let me check with
All
them.
right, so I'm gonna pass it. You guys have a seat, okay? And then recalling Arbor Woods versus Brittany Woods and Hall.
For the record, Your Honor, Rachel Dornbush, Palace Law, on behalf of plaintiff.
Okay. Ms. Dornbush, they're here.
Yes, Your Honor, I spoke with my client and they are willing to give defendants until the 22nd to get the remaining balance paid. So I think maybe it makes sense to adjourn the hearing to the 22nd, see where things stand at that point. But I would request that the court release the 1610 currently being held in escrow, since it does take a little time for that process to go through and for funds to make it to the
So
land.
that was Dornbush's way of saying we're slow.
No,
I'm
Your Honor,
gonna
there's
let
a
my clerks
process.
know what you said.
I would never besmirch the reputation of your clerks, Your Honor. I would not dare do such a thing.
I had already written that down before you said anything to release the escrow. You don't have any problem releasing the escrow, do you? Okay, so the escrow, I'm gonna release that to the plaintiff. And then I'm gonna adjourn this to the 22nd. March 22nd, 2024 at 9 a.m. Now, you guys, are you gonna be able to get that other amount to the landlord
Yes.
before that 9 a.m.? So when I call the case, I just want to make sure we can verify that it's been paid.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I don't believe you. Are you gonna be able to get it there?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, all right, I believe her. I don't know. I don't know why he looks a little shit. All right. That's what she was thinking. She was looking at him cross-eyed too. Anyway, all right, folks. We'll see you on the 22nd.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.